And, well, it helped if I got the microphone over here in front of me.
Is the sound on?
Yes, the sound is on.
So they can hear us?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Good
Hey.
evening, Darkness Live Tribe.
Good evening. Claire, Nicole, Ben, the good captain.
Yeah.
The good Captain
Hey,
Carl.
speaking of good Captain Carl, I owe you an apology because I did not hear the phone ring when you tried to call me yesterday. I was trying to nap and Sophie was not letting me because I had to work last night. So we will get together soon, however, okay?
I'm going to answer for him and say, you shithead. Why didn't you answer the phone? No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
From the dark side there is.
Oh, the dark side. I heard a message.
Message from the dark side. I need to shut that damn thing off.
You know, it is appropriate that your message is the dark side and not the light side, considering.
Right.
But I find it funny that it's Yoda that says message from the dark side. Like, that seems kind of contradictory to me. Just saying.
I don't know.
Just saying.
I mean, he's 900 years old. He knows a little something about the dark side, I'm sure.
Hi, Nikki.
So.
I'm not familiar with Nikki, but I'd like to be. Anybody who tunes in, I would like to be familiar with
exactly.
them. Nikki, reach out sometime.
So, do us a favor right quick. We got to get the plugs out of the way before we get...
The plugs? Oh!
Before we dig
like
into anything else.
Okay.
Like this video, share this video on whatever platform you're watching from, and help us...
freezing? Are we freezing up?
Help us get this... it looks like we've got a few dropped frames. I forgot to run the auto setup wizard, but oh well.
No, well.
The audio should still be okay. So anyway, like this video, share this video, like, subscribe, follow the page, whatever platform you're watching on, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and help us get the word out about all this crazy rotten fun we're having. So.
I really.
Oh my God! The other night, woo! That was.
Anybody who missed it, go back and watch it. If you need a good laugh, if you need to take your mind off of the world right now, my amazing husband and our incredible friends, we had a roundtable drunken paranormal discussion. Well, me and the other female in the room, we didn't have. We just drank the the flavored water drink. We didn't have, we were the designated sober people. So, but the three guys that were in the room, wow. I'm telling you, the new friend we made, Jacob, quiet. Then, whoa, mind blown what that kid was talking about. I was just like, Jamie and I were both like, oh my gosh, what? Say what? We can't even comprehend what this dude is saying right now. So, and we weren't even drunk. So, you know, it would have been one thing if we were drunk, but Hell, you were drunk and you were comprehending it.
Well, maybe you needed to be drunk. That was the problem.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But anyways, let's see. Yeah.
But yeah, we had so much fun.
We're gonna plan on having the round table. The round table drunken parent. I'm calling it the round table because it was round. But I mean, we're gonna plan on doing that, trying to schedule that one Friday a month.
Darkness Tavern. It's Darkness Tavern.
Darkness Tavern.
We're gonna plan on doing Darkness Tavern once a month. If it's
gonna be called Darkness Tavern, y'all need to get some what are those called? Beer steins.
Something.
So you need to get some like beer steins or something, Speaking of coffee mugs, I miss coffee so much. I was so let down because Saturday Jeremiah and I went to Lawrence to see some dear friends, and I'm in this metaphysical shop, witchy shop, and there's these really incredible coffee mugs, and my son had gotten me a coffee mug around Halloween last year that said Witch's Brew on it. It was so cool. And of course, it came from my son, so it made it that much more special. Well, it got broke, and I was really sad. Well, Saturday when we were in Lawrence, they had one, not identical, but they had one that was even cooler with the designs and everything, and it said Witch's Brew on it, and I didn't get it because, well,
you don't drink coffee
I don't drink coffee anymore. So I think I have almost all of you on my Facebook. That's actually the reason why I'm posting so many things about coffee, because I miss it so much. So I feel like it's a way to, still connect with coffee at least a little bit, So.
Hey, there we go. I like that idea. Drinking from horns.
Yes, we have some.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, we're not getting those out for Darkness Tavern, though. Those are ceremonial.
True.
So, yeah.
Hey, get out of my brain. Kenna's on. Hi, Kenna.
Hey, Kenna.
Carl's, welcome. Charles. I was thinking about Carl and Charles at the same time. Charles, welcome. Skull, brother. Skull. I like that. I appreciate that. What's the little dot above the A called in the word skull?
I don't know. It's a kind of a punctuation. Not really a punctuation. It's a pronunciation mark.
Okay.
It indicates a different pronunciation for letters.
Esty. Esty's watching. Hi, Esty.
What's up?
He just makes me all warm inside. I just love Esty so much. I do. And Jerica's watching. Jerica's watching.
Cool.
Hi, Jerica.
What's up, Jerica?
Jerica's one of the most amazing people that's stuck with me in my life for the rest of my life. So just had to throw that out there. She is incredible. I say the word incredible a lot, but I feel like it really is a well-deserved word, especially when we're referencing so many people that are just incredible.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We've got a lot of those in our lives. So.
Oh, I saw the funniest.
Blessed where that comes.
Oh, yeah. This door, opening this door of the metaphysical and paranormal world has opened up so many amazing relationships for us.
Yeah.
For me, for you, for us. And experiences, and the list goes on and on, So funny joke. I totally stole somebody's meme off of Facebook, but it literally said...
You never do that.
No, I steal every single one of them too. At least I usually will give hit the like button, I won't just be cold and steal it.
That's what it's called, an accent mark.
Thank you, Charles.
Yes. Carl, I don't have any beer. I drink all my beer Friday night, so I don't have any.
Well, shit, I better stay on track.
Beer to drink tonight, so we're just going to have to keep count so I can make up for it later.
Oh, Esty said for the Norse alphabet, it's called a ring. Thank you, Esty.
Oh, cool.
See, all these people are so smart. They know. It's like boom, boom, boom. They know. So funny. Okay, I don't even know where this came from or what we were even just now talking about that sparked it in my brain. But this meme, and it said... It said, Metallica has never one time been on Sesame Street. Muppet. Wait, what's that song called? Puppet Master My Ass.
Well,
I thought it was so funny. Well, Carl told Charles about us, so we better live up to the expectation.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, I don't try to live up to expectation. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit,
that's pretty
right?
much it.
Yeah. So
you get what you get. You get what you see.
You know, even I've said that so many times to my kids. Like they're probably gonna put it on my headstone.
Yeah, like you're gonna put. What's the one you're gonna put on your mom's headstone?
Well,
there's a couple of them.
Yeah. So on my mother's headstone, God love her, but it's gonna be knowledge. These aren't actually bad. These are actually like really insightful, but they're like ingrained in my retinas, or not retinas, but ingrained in my mind. You know, there's so many pathways of that statement. So it's knowledge is power, which is very insightful. Yeah. Quality over quantity, and those who matter know.
Yeah.
Those three statements I heard from as far back as I can remember. And my dad, I gotta be nicer to my dad though, because my dad's was always, I better never get a phone call for you that you ran out of gas. There's never an excuse for having an empty gas tank. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. Oh, guys, I have to tell you. So last night, Jeremiah was at work. I don't care. Pretend to drink a beer. Just manifest. Just manifest.
I know what you're going to talk about. This is actually kind of cool.
I know. Okay, guys, swear to God.
Ooh,
so
old camp. Oh, man.
I'm in. Yeah, Master of Puppets. There we go. It was a
Jameson
great joke.
helps lower expectations.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
What about Jameson, Jack, Crown? What else? All of them? Back to my story.
All those old gents will help lower expectations.
Back to my story. I gotta tell this, and I don't want to get sidetracked. Just stop, okay? Just give me credit.
I'm doing that on purpose.
Give me on credit because this is great. I'm building the story here. Okay, guys. So I was literally, Jeremiah had left to go to work. Sophie and I had come outside, and Kenneth said she hears all those from my mom too. All those lovely sayings from Cinda. Anyways, back on track. So Jeremiah left to go to work. Sophie and I were outside because it wasn't dark yet, and she got like filthy. Okay, like she was just a kid playing outside, and she just got filthy. So I'm like, all right, let's go in. It's time to take a bath, get ready for bed. So
finally get the green paint washed out of her hair.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, so I give her a bath. We go in her bedroom. I said, okay, let's get jammies on. So I go to get her jammies, and my dumbass, I forgot to switch the laundry, so her jammies were still soaked in the dryer or the washer, and I'm like, crap. So I said, let's go in Lennon's room and just get a t-shirt, one of his t-shirts to wear to bed. Okay, Mama. So we went into her room. Sophie is literally, probably 8 feet from me, and just staring up, talking to Lennon. My son has this dinosaur skeleton thing that he built. It's really cool, and it's pretty big size. Yeah. And anyway, she's just oogling.
It's almost 3 feet long.
She's like oogling over it, and I'm in his closet. Okay, I'm just standing there, kind of looking through his shirts, and all of a sudden, I shit you not, all of a sudden, his bedroom door on its own closes halfway and stops. And I'm just like, and then I got this feeling that came over me like, what the fuck? You know, like, I don't care how many times you experience something paranormal. It always startles me. Yeah. Always. And I think it's just because it's such a out of the norm thing, you know? Plus, it was just Sophie and I. And so, anyways, I called Jeremiah. I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. And of course he believed it, you know, and I should know better. You know, I believe it too, but it's just when you're the one experiencing it. But there was, guys, you don't understand. My son's door is not one to just, because you know how in some houses doors just shut or whatever. Well, number one, his door isn't one to just shut. Either it's open or it's closed, and
it's never. I mean, we leave it standing. He leaves it standing wide open all the time.
Yes, like
you know, and it never.
It never does. And like I said, Sophie was not jumping. She was not making any kind of movement that could have triggered anything. I was literally in his closet. You know, like my hands are in his closet, sifting through the shirts, and I just turn my head, and it's like closing, and it stops midway because I literally said out loud, "Oh boy, we're not alone." And when I said that, it stopped. Ooh. Just saying, but I did. I called Jeremiah.
I think we're gonna have a blast when we do actually finally get our live investigation going in there.
So yeah.
We're going to have good results with that. I can't wait. So.
I know. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, guys, I apologize that we didn't end up doing the live investigation Saturday night. We just needed to reschedule.
Yeah. We just had some stuff going on. We needed the day off and had to
we got our Lena time.
Yeah, had to kind of
we got our Lena and Linda
step back
time,
and recharge a little bit.
A little bit. Yep. So, but yeah, so we had a crazy experience. Well, I had a crazy experience last night, and it's just one of those. It happens all the time.
Well, earlier today when I was sleeping, I got off work at 8:00 this morning. I didn't actually get in bed till almost 10, but I honestly I don't know what time it was. But I might have been dreaming. I don't know. I don't remember dreams, so I right. Honestly I don't know. But I got about half woke up to the sound of someone walking up the stairs from the basement. And, being half asleep still, I didn't jump out of bed and go check because it didn't dawn on me being half asleep that, hey, I'm supposed to be the only one in this damn house.
Yeah, nobody else was here.
So,
and we don't have any animals either.
Right. So, but stuff like that happens all the time in that house. And, that's stuff that we expected moving into it just because, shit seems to follow us.
It's like we're a beam of light for anything unusual, right?
I don't know about that. Well, maybe a beacon of some sort. I don't know about a beam of bright white light.
I'm literally picturing, at the end of The Fifth Element when Lilu, like, the beam is, like, coming out of her because she's the fifth element. And she's like, that's literally what I'm picturing our house. Like, it just, this giant mouth is opening up and this beam of light is shooting to the sky. Anyways.
Oh, my gosh.
Hi, Bo. Bo's watching, too.
Yeah.
Bo and Jerica. Hi, guys. We love you.
What's up, guys?
That's family, people. That's family. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, and my mother. Oh, my God. I'm so glad none of you really, well, a couple of you know her, but I'm so glad I can talk about her because she doesn't have, internet or anything like that. So she has no risk of, like, hearing any of this, right? Dude, the day that my parents call and tell me. The day that my parents call and tell me that they got Facebook, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. Anyway, she called me, guys. My mom called me yesterday, and she said, Stephanie, I had the weirdest thing happen. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm in my bedroom. And she said, all of a sudden, I look up, and there is a woman staring at me in my room. She said I could see her face. She said she just was standing there staring at me. She said, and, like, my mom, off and on, ever since I can remember, like, she'll get stuff like that. She'll see things.
I started to say, whether she wants to admit it or not, she's no stranger to experiences like that. So, which,
by the way, Kenna, I did mom and dad's birth charts, and so now I'll have to give Kenna more insight on it. Because once I did their birth charts, holy hell, it makes so much more sense why they are the way they are. Anyways, funny how the astrology works, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So let's introduce our guest.
So,
oh my God, guys, it's not often that I get this moment of, what's the word for it? Like, just really taken back by something and somebody and their gifts. And, it happens with, we do have a lot of friends that happens with, but this is a whole different level. Like, this is kind of the icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned, because from personal experience, getting a reading from this amazing woman, she is I don't even have words. I don't have words. But okay, her name is Jamie Collins.
Here, I'll read the write-up.
Okay, Jeremiah's going to read the write-up.
Let me get the other screen switched over here. So our guest tonight is the spirit speaker, Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins is an intuitive medium and Kansas City native. For as long as she can remember, she has always loved the metaphysical and paranormal. Jamie's work as a medium enables her to connect people with friends and family who are in spirit. She has an uncanny ability to bring through messages of validation with humor, compassion, and healing. I have to admit, I'm really excited about this interview as well. Are we ready to give her a call?
Yeah, and nobody misunderstand. Like, we love all of our guests, but there's a specific reason why this particular individual just, my jaw dropped. Okay? We'll talk about her on. We'll talk. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Let's call her. Let's call her up.
All right, here we go.
Charles Logan. No, not starstruck, because we're all human, but like more of a just really intrigued, like more intrigued than normal, if that makes sense.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Jamie!
Hey, Jamie.
Good evening!
Jeremiah.
Good evening!
How are you all this evening?
We
Oh,
are
my
doing
goodness.
great. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. A little tired. I had a fair this past weekend, so there were, a bunch of readings. So usually the first couple days after a fair, you know how it is. You're sucking up all this energy and interacting with all this energy. It's kind of like it takes a couple days to get rid of it. But other than that, I'm great.
Yes,
great.
you got to recharge. You got to recharge those batteries, man.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and especially
girl,
when it's been 3 or 4 months since we've, because of COVID, haven't had any fairs, and you haven't been around a whole lot of people. So then you're experiencing that, and I think my energy just went into shock. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm noticing that too. Of course, we haven't done any fairs this year.
sad face.
Just because our work circumstances and whatnot, combined with the pandemic and all, but the other night after our special episode, with the group of friends that we had over, I threw the runes, and that was the first time I'd thrown the runes for anyone besides just small podcasts here and there in several months, and it was both refreshing, but it was also very draining at the same time. Just that one single cast. Of course, we spent probably 2 hours trying to interpret this.
Right.
Because we were just sitting around with friends, but and having deep conversation. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's a really cool story about the spirits in your house.
Oh my gosh.
As well. I've had that experience when I was younger, but yeah, so I know how that is.
And Jamie, it's like, and it was just me and my 2-year-old, and so I'm like,
Yeah, that was, the very first thing I thought of when y'all were talking about that story. I was like, I wondered how long you had felt the presence in the house, because when you talked about having the small group, I was thinking, I wonder if somebody brought something with them, if it just happened since the group, but if it's been going on longer, it wasn't someone in the group.
What's interesting that you just said is literally when we were in the middle of, well, not in the middle, it was closer, maybe 2/3 of the way through that night. Like, I swear that I saw like a male like kind of peek around Jamie, the girl that was sitting next to me, and then Max validated it that he saw something too, and then we kind of made eye contact, and he's like, "You just saw something?" "Yeah, I saw it too." "Okay." And then Lena kind of confirmed it on the viewing end, even though nowhere in the camera angle that she could have seen, or you know what I'm saying. And so we kind of got that confirmation, and so maybe it's some unreal man that just wants to hang out with us. I mean, I'd hang out with us if I was an old man, just saying.
Yeah,
I'd hang out with us.
Excitement.
Yes.
But,
okay.
Yeah. So we
That's
have
awesome.
We have both of us have spirits that have followed us around for a long time.
Oh wow.
But we also have I believe one, possibly two, that followed us from our previous residence to this house when we moved here. And I think they just got attached to us. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I think they grew an affection for us.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. I do believe that. Absolutely.
Especially there's a little kid. One of the two is a little girl, and especially her, because man, she really got attached to the kiddos. really, she wanted to play with the kids. I can't tell you how many times, Jamie, in that apartment, the girls, like, their toys wouldn't be where they left them, or just stuff like that, little subtle things over time. But it's pretty remarkable that the whole realm that we can't see with our eyeballs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And kids are so open; they're not tainted, by society or a belief system. They're so recent from the other side that. I think spirits are just naturally drawn to children because of their openness and very non-judgmental.
Absolutely. Our kids are going to be the kids that are going to grow up never losing it, because, Jamie, when they come to us and they say, we saw something, we're like, yes, where is it? Let's go find it. Yes, you did see something. Don't freak out. It's not harmful. Just, yes, you did see something.
Awesome.
Yes,
that's awesome.
So Jamie, let's just dive right in. So go ahead and tell everybody listening, who are you and what are you about?
Well, I've always been fascinated with all those things in the unseen, or things we might call paranormal, whether it's spirits, whether it's UFOs, whether it's the Bermuda Triangle, or what happened to Amelia Earhart. I've always just kind of had this fascination about the unknown, and I believe it was really kicked off as a kid. My earliest memories of being 5 to 6 years old, the house that my family was living in at the time was haunted, or, I prefer to use the word spirit-filled.
I like that better. That's positive connotation. I like it better.
Yeah. So I think that's really where it got started. And all of us, I have 3 other siblings and my parents, and, everyone had experiences in the house from these spirits.
Oh,
and
wow.
So my mom, there were 4 of us, all under the age of 6, I believe. And she would hear marbles on the floor or strange things. And, of course, with small children, you wouldn't have marbles. So I just believe, the closet in my bedroom was a portal for these spirits, because literally my mom would put us to bed and you would see these spirits come out of the closet.
Oh my gosh.
And they weren't harmful,
Yeah.
They would just kind of almost like we were invading their space.
Right. They're like, who are you? It's like in the movie Beetlejuice. It's like in the movie Beetlejuice, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they would never bother us, but would just have these experiences. And I really do believe that's kind of what started my fascination. Fast forward, go through life, and, then in my late 30s, I started just kind of really getting interested in mediumship, psychic, the sixth sense. John Edward, I believe, was really big right back then, the psychic medium. And so I just believe that spirit just kind of, kept tapping me on the shoulder.
Yep.
and was kind of guiding me to do this work. Even though I believe we're all, psychics and mediums to some degree.
Right.
But it fascinated me. I was interested and just started to study and pursue it. And, years later, here I am. And I really just enjoy representing and, in a way, speaking for spirit.
Oh, absolutely. And, Jamie, I have to ask, because most professional, readers, tarot readers, mediums, all of that realm, when you go to fairs, do you ever, because most of the ones I've ever asked this, or they will just outright say it, they always question, like, God, am I really like, I feel kind of bad charging people, but God, I mean, I have a gift and, I'm using it and, but every time I go to sit down at that reader's booth, I question, like, oh my God, am I going to be off today? Like, do you experience that?
Yeah. Well, oh, absolutely. And I believe it's mostly due to Jamie, it's not due to spirit. There's going to be days when I didn't get enough sleep, or I'm thinking about too many things, or I'm stressed, or maybe I'm trying to catch a cold, and I'm kind of under the weather. But I really feel like it's more me. I'm a believer that spirit is always there, always there. There's no separation, so it's more, but yeah, I do have those days where I'm not feeling my greatest or that connected to spirit, but it's really just about, for me, just setting that intention and focus and trying to be aware. But, it's one of those things, too, when you have a gift, people, how do you charge for it and all that? Well, I think of a lot of things as a gift. A mechanic has a gift.
Oh, yes, and we know they like to charge.
A beautician has a gift. So, just because you have a gift that's per se from God or source, whatever your word is for that divine intelligence, you still live in the physical world, and you still have physical bills.
Got those bills.
Have to eat physical food. So
yes.
It's really,
there, that old saying. It's like, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. And Jamie, you are, bar none, you are one of the best readings I've ever had.
Thank you.
I'm serious, Jamie. When you did my reading for me, because remember we'd talked at fairs, and I'm like, man, I want to get a reading from you. I want to get a reading from you. And then, it just wasn't the time. It wasn't the time. And then sure enough, our dear friend Esty, he got me the reading with you. And it was, I just was so just in awe when I even walked up to your booth, because I was just like, oh my God, like, cause you are, people watching here, like, this woman is booked solid every fair. She is like booked solid with readings, and it's like there's never a downtime. There's always somebody sitting waiting, and I'm going, my God, girl, it's a good thing you're not a smoker, because I would be thinking you'd be needing a cigarette in between,
Yeah.
And so when somebody approaches your booth, do you kind of get a feeling right away about what they're looking for, or do you get a feeling about the type of service they're specifically needing, or do you kind of leave it open?
Well, it really depends upon the client somewhat. That's what I tell clients. But when someone comes to me, really it's all about 90% of my clients are coming to me for mediumship, which is connecting with loved ones who are in spirit. And so 90% of the time, my whole focus, it's really not on the client. It's really on spirit, and really trying to work through spirit to get that evidence that their loved one is with them. And so it's not so much about the client unless it's what I call a psychic reading, or an intuitive reading, which is what's going on here in the physical, health, career, relationships, money, situations going on in the physical world. So then if it's an intuitive or psychic reading, I might tune in more to my client, kind of merge my energy field with their energy field, their aura, and pick up some information. Okay. And, I believe my spirit guides are communicating with their spirit guides and giving us information, giving me information that helps the client if it's a psychic situation.
Right. Now, a couple questions. One, do you do readings over the phone?
Yeah, in fact, I really enjoy phone readings. Clients ask me a lot, Jamie, do you think I should see you in person, or is the phone okay? And I always tell clients, it's really what your preference is. Because to spirit, it makes absolutely, they don't care.
Right.
If it's over the phone, if it's Skype, if it's in person, spirit's always going to be there, so they don't care. And yes, probably 60% of my business is over the phone.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's really helpful because this gosh darn virus, it's just really put a damper on things.
Oh yeah.
I know that the services that you offer, every single one of these people would be in. So Jamie, can I talk about our reading? Can I talk about that? Or do you mind?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember it.
You know what? Every good psychic is not supposed to remember the reading. You can't, girl. You
I was
can't.
Say,
you
hey,
can't.
I barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Don't get me to try to remember a reading.
No.
Yeah,
so I'm going from my point of view how it happened. I'm gonna portray the picture.
Okay, cool.
So
That's cool. Yeah,
when I find out I get the booking with you, thanks to Esty. Shout out to Esty's so amazing. So I walk up and I'm a little early because I just can't wait, and I'm a Sagittarius and I'm all anxious and I'm like, I don't want to wait any longer. I've been waiting a long time, And I walk up and I sit in her booth and she's like, well, what's going on? What are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's just do, just do it. Do your thing. And so Jamie starts in, and Jamie, I apologize if I butcher this part because I can't remember. Because I remember when you talked about, people coming through. If it's on the left, it's either male or female. And if it's on the right, I can't remember specifically if it was left or right. Okay. But anyways, I'm going to speed up to the wild part of the reading, okay? So, guys, Jamie does, at that point, she didn't know, anything about me other than, Jeremiah and I were married. We didn't have her on Facebook or anything like that. So, there's no way she could have, known any of the stuff that she picked up on, okay? So, I'm sitting there, and she's just like, gosh, there's just really not very many people coming through. Typically when we open this door and she says, if there's anybody who has a message for Stephanie or wants to come through, come on through. There's typically more people stuff. What's going on here? And I'm like, well, I have a really small family. And, well, that explains that gives me more because, it could be, we just aren't having many people come through. Well, then Flash, we're talking for a little while and you're telling me about a young boy spirit that comes through, and you're telling about an older man that has kind of walked with the boy through and whatnot. But then let's go to the wild part. So the wild part, guys, is all of a sudden you were like, oh wait, there is a woman who's coming through. And Jamie, I have to tell you, at first I was like, I don't even know who this could be, and you were like, now this is somebody that you might have never met, but it's somebody who you're close to, somebody that they know. And I'm like, okay, okay, now I'm intrigued. Keep going, And you said, this woman, she's probably in her 50s, middle-aged. She's it's like light hair, glasses, heavier set. And you said, she's only been crossed over for, 2 to 3 years. And you said she went suddenly from something like heart related, and she's coming through and she's wanting to deliver a message that she's sorry that she left the way she did. She hated it that she left the way she did, but she is okay. She's got some stuff she's working on, but she is everything's gonna be okay. And you said, and her name, I'm getting, it's Peggy, Patricia, something around, is it ringing and Jamie, when you said that, my jaw freaking dropped, okay? because at that time, you didn't know any of this. At that time, okay, somebody close to us, their mother passed away. At that time, it was 2 to 3 years prior. Exact description, exact way she passed, exact age, and even her name was Patricia and she went by Peggy. Jamie.
Wow.
I mean, you were like spot freaking on, okay? Like spot on.
Oh, well, that's cool. Thank you.
And there's some validation for you. And anyways, when I after I, you told me the message that I needed to give and stuff, and it was a little more than that, but I was really, really having some, internal conflict because I'm like, God, I don't know if I can tell this individual this message. Like, I don't know if I can do it. And Jeremiah and I talked about it, and I'm like, but you know what? She wanted me to deliver that message. I've got to tell this person. I've got to.
Yes.
I got to put my own feelings aside here, and I've got to tell this person, And I did. And I'm telling you, Jamie, it was very... I'm glad I told the person. I'm glad I told her.
Beautiful. I'm glad. I'm glad you honored. I'm glad you honored spirit.
I did, and I really
that.
And I really feel like a big part of the reason that nobody else maybe was coming through on that specific reading was because Patty was supposed to be the one to give me the message.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
It gave me goosebumps. Gave me goosebumps.
Well, thank you. I always say, Stephanie, that that's spirit.
Yep.
Spirit is the one who really dictates. I'm just there to receive that information.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get good validation, I always say that that's the love of that person across in the afterlife and spirit world. That's just their love, how much they want to communicate with their loved ones that are here in the physical. And they'll take whatever way, shape, or form they can to get the message delivered to their loved one the way it needs to be. And that's the reason they would come through in your reading. They knew you would deliver the message. So it's beautiful that you honored spirit that way, because a lot of people, believe it or not, wouldn't have the courage to do that, or would, put it off, procrastinate. But it's beautiful when you took it and you delivered it, even though it was tough. But it's beautiful. So kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Thank you. And kudos to Jeremiah, because he was very encouraging on,
Beautiful.
I think that,
Jeremiah.
I think
that's awesome.
You do need to tell her, because I think that, it's something she needs to hear. And it was very, I will never forget that reading.
Yes.
I will never forget it. And I walked away from your table just in awe, because it's so incredible when somebody does have that gift, and it's so strong, and they are able to help people, because I'm sure at your core, the main reason that you do this is to help people and to get people to be able to connect with loved ones. And you go ahead?
No, I was just going to say that's what I was saying a little bit earlier, is that I love to help people. I think I know it can be very healing for people. And really, I do it to serve spirit and just to let people know that, the only thing that dies is the physical body, that our soul, our spirit, our consciousness continues on just in another dimension, and that your loved ones, believe it or not, want to talk to you just as much as you want to talk to them. So, that's what I always let clients know. Believe it or not, they just have to do it in a different way. They're not in the physical body, so they have to let us know in a different way that they are around, but they're absolutely watching us and protecting us, guiding us in more ways than I think sometimes we can really even comprehend. So,
absolutely.
But
and do you think, so like when you're doing a reading, if you have somebody that's just coming to you and just like, oh my God, I miss my grandma so much, and I just need to talk to her. Does it ever happen that person does not come through?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Now majority of the time during a reading, the people, the spirits, the loved ones, hear from the people they want to. But there will be times when someone sits down and the person they want to hear from doesn't come through, and people ask all the time, why is that? And, I'm not sure I know all the answers. Maybe that spirit is not a good communicator and able to deliver the message. Maybe I'm not the medium for that spirit in the spirit world. Maybe another spirit medium is a better fit for them. I don't believe in one size fits all.
Absolutely.
We're all mediums, but we all deliver messages and get messages differently. So, hey, maybe I'm not the medium. Maybe you as the client, the receiver, the loved one, you're not quite ready to hear that message, even though you think you are.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not ready. So there can be quite a few reasons why a spirit won't come through, but majority of the time, clients hear from the loved ones that they want to hear from. And I always say this, and I tell clients this: Spirit knows a lot better than Jamie who you need to hear from or what you need to hear. So I always tell them that Spirit really runs this session. Jamie doesn't. So if they come through, just like for you, you talked about, well, I didn't feel a lot of people coming through. That's not what was needed that day at that particular time with you. So I don't have as much control over a session as clients like to believe. Spirit is totally in control of the session.
Yes.
That's exactly when I have clients that sit down for a rune reading, and they'll say, well, can I ask questions? I said, you can ask anything you want to, and I'll try to answer it, but I can't guarantee anything because I'm only going to tell you what the runes and the spirit tells me to tell you. I'm not,
exactly.
I'm not,
well, there's something you might need to actually hear right now above what you're wanting to know. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, man, girl! I bet you go through a lot of Kleenex boxes at your table.
Well, it's different. They cry. Sometimes it's sad tears, sometimes it's happy tears. Emotions that you get it all. You have some people that are speechless, and you don't think you've gotten a thing correct because they haven't given you any feedback whatsoever. So the emotions run the gamut. But most of the time I'll get an email or follow-up phone call. How happy they were with the session. But I left the session going, geez, I blew that one. But you find out.
Girl,
find
and
out
then the next
later.
Next time they're going to show right back up.
They have to process it. Their computer's a little slower, so they have to process. And I get it. We come into a reading with a certain expectation, and then when you get that reading, it's like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting.
Right.
So I know. How that is. So, it's really cool, though. It's cool working with Spirit. I'm amazed by Spirit every single day that I work with it. I think I've seen it or heard it all, and I haven't seen or heard anything. Spirit is truly amazing the way that they get information to us from across the veil.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I had a really good question for her. Talk for a minute. It's got to come back to me.
Well, so while she's thinking, you kind of brought up a while ago the client that you have a hard time with during the reading because you're not getting any feedback whatsoever. Maybe they're stoic or whatever. So I have to. I was actually going to ask you about that. Do you ever have that kind of client? Do you have? And I know you have to be careful what you say, but do you have a general story of a client like that it was particularly memorable to you?
That was particularly. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Memorable.
Memorable?
Yes.
Well, there's always stories where, sometimes, that unexpected. I'm trying to think about this. What I love about Spirit, and one of the things I tell clients is, Spirit is not going to speak to me the way that I'm speaking with you, or what we would call everyday language.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people to think of it as spiritual shorthand or spiritual charades. So the way that I receive my information from Spirit is they're going to give me pictures or images or symbols in my mind, clairvoyantly, kind of seeing the pictures, and then they'll make me feel things, clairsentience or clairaudience, which means it's like they're whispering in my ear. So when I connect with Spirit, they're going to give me information generally in one of those three ways. So it's not going to just be a dialogue. It will show pictures. So last weekend I had a reading with a client, and an ex-fiance who was in Spirit came through. So we're going through with the reading, and as I'm wrapping up, he showed me a loaf of Wonder Bread. So you would think, that's why I said, so Spirit, as clear as day in my mind, gave me a picture of a loaf of Wonder Bread. And so I said to the client, I go to Spirit, are you serious? The client's going to think I'm crazy. if I say something about Wonder Bread. But I always say this to a client. I know the information that Spirit is giving me is correct.
Okay.
Spirit, it takes too much energy for them to come through with wasteful symbols or information. So I always tell a client, I know what Spirit gives me is accurate. It just may be my delivery or my interpretation may be incorrect. So I just said to the client, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but why is Spirit talking about this loaf of Wonder Bread? Why is Spirit showing me a loaf of Wonder Bread? And she just busted out laughing.
Oh.
She goes, oh, my God, you've got to be kidding. I even talked about this story with her ex-fiance about bread. She goes, I even mentioned it in the eulogy at his
Oh, my
service.
gosh.
So, where I think the symbol or what Spirit is coming through is just feels like it's off the wall or crazy, as long as the client can take what it is, that's what's important. And so then I just laughed at Spirit so she knew exactly what it meant, and that's all that mattered. So even though it seemed strange to me,
it was perfect fit.
It was that. And one other really quick story, I had a client whose mom was in Spirit. She had passed from cancer, and all Mom would keep showing me were peanuts and dolphins. And I'm like, really? I mean, again, you have to remember, Spirit has to get that information through quickly. It's not like I can just sit there and take dictation, and give word for word. So I go, look, I'm sorry, but all I can see your mom is showing me is dolphins and peanuts. That's it. I have no clue what it means. I'm not going to try to interpret what it means.
It sounds familiar.
And it was it was two daughters, and they just started crying because their mom had brain cancer or a brain tumor, and all she wanted to eat at the end or could eat were peanuts, and she was a huge Miami Dolphins fan.
Wow.
So they immediately knew what the peanuts and the dolphins meant, even though for me, it didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right.
So there's lots of cool stories like that where you think a symbol or a message that you're giving to Spirit is just totally off the wall. And 9 times out of 10, when you get that off the wall kind of feeling, pretty much then you're going to get a home run because the client knows exactly what you mean.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. So I thought of my question for you. Okay, so Jamie, the one great thing about the metaphysical community is everybody's about, helping each other. And do you ever have it happen that somebody will come to you and you just genuinely are like, you know what? That person over there can help you more than I can.
Oh, gosh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm not a believer that, one size fits all, that I have all your needs. If someone comes to me and says, hey, Jamie, do you know anything about numerology? I'll be very little. It fit on the head of a needle,
Right.
So I'm just like, and so if I know someone, I will make reference, give a name out. Or a medium. Like I said, there have been times clients have sat down in front of me, and for whatever reason, even though I know, as I mentioned, that I know Spirit is always there, I can't make that connection. And I'll be, hey, for whatever reason, I'm not the medium for you. Here's 2 or 3 names for you, and you go where you feel drawn. I try not to give one name.
Right.
I try to give 2 or 3 names, and then let the client decide using their intuition or where their energy draws them to a particular person. Because I might not lead them to the right person, but I know if I give 2, 3, 4 names, I know Spirit will guide them to the person that's meant for them, and it wasn't me. And I'm okay with that. My ego is not so much that bothers me. In fact, I respect Spirit more. I say thank you to that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And, I also do believe, at fairs and stuff like that, the people that are meant to find you will find you.
Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Really believe that. That's one great thing, Jeremiah and I have found about this community is everybody is so, everybody is just so wanting to get help to the people who need the help.
Yes.
It's a very giving, I'm going to use the word profession because it is. It's a very giving profession. It's a very, well, it's probably very humbling too to know that you help so many people, and you probably get because all that praise and all that validation, you're like, okay, I really am doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. Another thing I've found, working with the dying all the time, right? Jamie, I can't tell you how many times that I'll be with a patient and they're getting close, and I kind of feel like the farther away they get from being conscious, the closer they get to the other side. And
right,
I really do believe when they're sitting there, talking to their husband that's been dead for 10 years or whatever. I believe that husband is in the room. I have no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt that the loved ones are on the other side waiting for them.
Yes. I just said that at the fair, this weekend, someone had mentioned the passing. They were concerned about their loved one when they were there, when they were actually transitioning over to spirit, that they were alone. And I assured them that, I'm a believer we don't come in this world alone, and we do not leave this world alone. So even though loved ones may not be a lot with their loved ones when they're transitioning over back home, I call it, I can assure you that there are many loved ones and guides and angels helping them cross over. They don't go alone. The Spirit has shown me that too many times.
Oh yeah, it's like that's just like I'll talk about my grandma for a minute. So I remember there towards the end of her life, when she was still conscious and she still knew who I was, but yet it was kind of that point that she was starting to transition a little bit. She talked to my grandpa in the same room. Like do you remember that, Jeremiah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She literally would be looking at my grandpa being in the room. He was in spirit. And talking to him and like,
wow.
And
so that's beautiful.
And they were married for 65 years. And so I have no doubt in my mind, girl, I have no doubt in my mind that my grandpa really was there,
Well, I remember your grandpa doing the same thing.
Wow. That's cool. That's exactly what I believe.
Really?
That when it's our time.
Who he was talking to, but go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying I definitely agree. Spirit has just shown that to me too many times of loved ones that when they are crossing over, that there's more than you would even expect there to greet them when they cross over. I think it's beautiful for people who do that work, those hospice workers or, what work you do, Stephanie. Yeah,
Jeremiah does it too, Jamie.
Beautiful.
Jeremiah and I both work for the same hospice, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really, it's really cool. So, we don't go by ourselves, and I don't think so. It doesn't even make sense to me almost in a way, like, you want me to believe that, all of our loved ones who are over there, they're just going to let us cross over by ourselves. Find your way.
No.
Good luck.
So I think they're just as excited to receive us as we are to get there and see them. So, okay, that's
awesome.
Cool.
Yes, it is. And, there's so many just incredible experiences that I know you have had. I know Jeremiah has had. I have had with dealing with the unseen, if you will.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about your guides, spirit, do you have like an image of what you're like this? Like, do you get an image of what the person relaying the messages to you? Is it different people? Is it one individual? Is it just like a being? What is it?
A team of like my guides during a reading? Yeah. Well, I don't really communicate too much with my guides during a session. Because again, remember, my job during mediumship is to connect with that spirit of that loved one.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm not saying that it's never my guides that maybe are helping me in some way, but I really believe that I'm tuning into the spirit of that loved one.
Okay.
Now, I believe I connect a little bit more with guides if I'm doing an intuitive situation.
Right.
So the whole time during a reading, I'm talking to spirit.
Okay.
I'm talking, give me information. How did you pass? What do you look like? What hobbies did you like? Tell me about the relationship with this loved one that I'm talking to. Tell me, I want to know what you two's relationship was like, or give me some favorite memories, something you laughed about, or, so the whole time during a session, I'm really trying to communicate with spirit, the loved one of my client, more than I am my team of helpers, my guides or angels, and so forth. And then if I'm giving an intuitive information, I might ask my guides, hey, would you mind, talking with their guides and kind of giving me a feel? But really, it's me trying to tune into the energy, whether it's the loved one across the veil or tune into the energy of my client and really wrap my energy around their energy, because most people don't understand. They don't realize that they're giving off and receiving information all the time.
Right.
And they're picking up on little bits of information. So, yeah, it's so guides are really important. I love, my guides who I think are helping me navigate through this thing called life. I think that's what, in my opinion, spirit guides are like. They're kind of helping me navigate this thing called life. They've been in the physical before, so they understand it. But I haven't really gotten names too much. I really more just feel my guides when they're around. I just have this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you guys? Do you feel your guides? Do you know your guides? I think sometimes we get caught up more in the names and all of that. I just try to feel them.
You go first, Jeremiah.
I honestly don't have names to associate with any of my guides. I do feel that the vast majority, I know there's several of them, and I feel the vast majority of them are ancestors of some sort. There's that ancestral, very familiar ancestral energy present there, but I don't have names to associate with them. There is one specific being that I've been kind of after a name for, but that's just out of my own curiosity, because I don't know what the heck he's got to do with anything, aside from just being he's been with me for a long time. But aside from that, I don't really have names, or even, there's been a few times when I say, I like to say my eyes have been opened and I've caught like images, but I don't know if any of the folks that I saw were my guides or not. But that they were ancestors. I know that for a fact, just because of the situations that was going on with my eyes when my eyes were opened like that. But that's happened twice. Once when I was very young, and once here just fairly recently, back in March. But I like I said, I don't know if any of those folks were actually my guides, but there was that same very familiar ancestral energy present.
Okay. Wow. So let's see. I would say, Jamie, for me, have figured out how to connect with my guides. It's not like, it's clear as mud. I'll put it that way. It's clear as mud. I just know like when, if I'm talking to somebody, I'll just, in my mind's eye, I'll just get like an image pop in my brain of something. And I've learned to be like, hey, this is going to sound really random, but blah, blah, blah. Does this thing, this object, this name, does this blah, blah, blah mean anything to you? Because I'm just, I'm seeing this. And more times than not, it's like, I get like a smile, and like then there's a story associated with it, you know.
Oh wow!
And so, or like I'm also beginning to key into, you know, like if I just so happen to really something is sticking out to me, like, oh, I don't know, a particular bird, or, you know, a particular number. You know, I'm trying to learn to notice signs about things. But as far as like guides and connecting and stuff like that, I literally I don't believe I have. Like, I'm sure that they're there and they're just waiting for me. Like, okay, when's she it's gonna click in her mind, you know. But it has not really, I don't believe, clicked in my mind, so to speak, yet. I'm sure it will, but I just kind of feel like I'm floundering a little bit, you know, with things, and so I'll get there though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, they're there.
Oh yeah, they're there.
You know, they're there. So you just kind of, you know, have to have, because people ask me all the time how to get to know their guides, and you know, I understand that a lot of people aren't into meditation. You know,
yes,
I think we're just wired such, especially nowadays with electronics and things. It's hard for people to take 5 or 10 minutes, and that's what I tell people, just to kind of enter meditation is, look, I'm not asking you to do it for 30 minutes because I get it. But even just starting 5 minutes and trying to get in touch with your guides. And you just have, my big thing I would say to you, Stephanie, is I'm sure your guides are there, you know, just acknowledge it, even if you feel like it's there. And then sometimes you just have to run little tests. You know, give some signs and say, hey, look, I'd really like to establish a relationship with you, you know, just to kind of confirm or validate that you're there.
Right.
Let's use, you know, whatever sign that you come up with and say, hey, I'm going to give you 48 hours, you know, or 72 hours.
The countdown is on.
Yeah.
It's the final
and
countdown.
Say, hey, and I really believe in that. I say, look, I need it within 48 hours. But hey, just know they're there. I like that you're trying and you're open to it and realize that they're there for you anyway.
Oh, yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It is.
And you know, I think they're definitely there, and I think they're connecting with her, you know, and I think that's evident through some of the gifts that she's starting to show, like, you know, the example that she gave you. But you know, I think, you know, well, like you said, Steph, it just hasn't clicked in your mind yet. You know, that, you know, okay, oh, that's how that works.
Yeah,
you know?
Because I'm literally like sitting here going, am I going to have a conversation in my head with somebody else? Am I going to, you know, a like 3-way conversation here? How's this supposed to work, you know? So Jamie, I've got to ask you this. So there is so much, typically we don't talk about the current situation with, you know, society and things like that. But I've come across so many people that are like in this, you know, I'm going to say in our kind of realm of thinking. And there's so many people right now that I find that are just really struggling with all the negativity and all of the just people not being nice and, for lack of a better term, just being assholes, you know? And, you know, people, and then, you know, you also have the people that are out there right now, and they are kind of having that wake-up call to what's going on in the bigger picture and everything. And it, you know, you and I both know to have an awakening, it's not pleasant, okay, girl? It is not pleasant, and it is not fun.
Yeah.
And it is very scary. And for anybody who thinks it's, you know, oh, totally, yes, I'm on board, let's do. No, it is it's hard. It's very hard,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
life-changing. And it's kind of like once you have that veil lifted and you see the bigger picture and everything, you can't put the veil back down. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It don't work that way. And so
Right,
do you
right.
have any words of wisdom or any advice for anybody who might be watching that is kind of awakened and is really struggling with just the way that times are right now and questioning their purpose?
Yeah, it is a very complex thing, and I can definitely, as I'm sure the both of you can, just energetically, when you're a person who deals with energy a lot, you can feel it. And I always believe that the growth that we as kind of that one consciousness are going through, this is kind of waking us, shaking us awake. But for me, what I try to do is just not tune in too much to the fear energy or that low energy. If that means that I don't watch TV or the news as much, I try to stay in that present moment and not get too caught up in the past and not get too worried about the future. It's really about setting that intention and just all I have is right now. You know what I mean? It's corny.
I know exactly what you mean.
It sounds so corny,
Nope, it doesn't.
And I know it sounds corny, but it's really the only thing, the healthiest way for me. I try to limit the TV about all that's going on with politics and COVID and all this, and just try to surround myself with positive things, whether it's reading a book that's positive or a podcast or, meditation. It's really just like, doesn't mean I'm burying my head in the sand. I'm still I feel like on top of current events, but I don't allow it to get caught up into my energy. I want to be an observer of what's going on and not be inside of it.
A participant. I like that.
Yeah. And so I just try to really stay with positive things, positive people, positive things that I can do, and just really stay right here, because worrying, it just doesn't serve any of us, and it just messes with my energy, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like to get that in my head, so I feel like if I can limit myself to it, that's what I do. And really, again, I hate to be so cliche, it will pass. It seems like it's forever. You're talking to somebody here who wants it over so bad you don't know how bad.
I know.
I just want all this to be done.
I do know.
But I know once we will get through it. The only thing that we don't know is when. And I definitely believe in a higher power. Consciousness is trying to get our attention and help us get us back to fundamentals of really what's important.
Right.
Yes.
I like that.
What you just said about, being very present and, having the mindfulness and stuff like that. One huge difference in Jeremiah and I, Jamie, is I'm almost in the present to a fault. And Jeremiah is the counterpart. Jeremiah is always,
I'm
thinking
the
about
big picture thinker to a fault.
Big picture thinker to a fault. And so, I got to reel him back into the present, and he's got to keep me moving forward for future goals, But it's true, Jamie. It's, I don't remember what famous, if it was a Buddhist person or what famous person said it, but it was like, there's 2 days a week you can't worry about. That's yesterday and tomorrow.
Yeah, that's so true.
It is so true. It is.
It's true. That's how you. Of course, people hear you say that and they think you don't plan. And I always tell people, okay, come on, let's think with a little common sense. Of course, we plan for things, but really, I find that just take that enjoyment, and I think that comes from age and, you get in life, just experience. I really don't even like to say age. I like to just say life experience.
Yeah.
And more life experience you have, you really do realize how really all you have is kind of this present moment. All of us can think of, times in our life where, that moment is taken away. But you just kind of just stay right here, just live in that moment, and know it'll all get taken care of.
Yes.
It will.
Yes.
It will.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So let's see. Jeremiah, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for her or anything?
Go ahead. I asked my question.
You asked your questions. Well, Jamie, do you have any? Okay, so we're gonna post your any links that you have, or any way anybody can reach you, and you can do over the phone readings. And I would encourage anybody that's watching this, if you've ever questioned authenticity of a reader, give Jamie a call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's amazing.
Give Jamie a call, because and we're never gonna support somebody that we feel is not the real deal.
Yeah.
Like I will say that outright. We are not going to support somebody who we don't believe in, and what they're doing and what they stand for. And so we absolutely love what you do, and it's very evident by your, oh my God, like you're just you like from the minute you sit down in your booth to the minute that door shuts, you are, your voice box has to hurt.
Yeah.
Your voice box has to hurt.
Well, I was going to say that, because we're sitting there at the fair, just joking around. There's been a few times when our booth has been, kind of, near yours, and maybe across the aisle or something. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm thinking, dang, Jamie, leave some for the rest of us. Because you're just constantly nonstop.
Yeah, that's just because I've been around a while, Jeremiah.
But at the same time,
but that says a lot about you, though.
It does. You're in it for the long haul, and you're not going to have the clientele, the return clientele, because there are people that I know they have to know you, because as soon as the doors to the fair open, they beeline to your booth and put their name on your list.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, so they're going there for that reason. So to have established that kind of loyalty in a client base, that's that doesn't just happen.
No.
If you're just blowing smoke and pulling chains, that doesn't happen. You have to be the real deal to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I've been really blessed. It's really a lot of spirit. I just love. I always tell people, I think people are drawn to me because they just can feel my love of spirit and how much I want to bring through their loved ones for them. So, I thank you for those kind words. I really do mean it, but it's really their spirit. Spirit should get all the accolades, not me. And Jeremiah's, y'all are both really intuitive. Jeremiah gives awesome ruins readings. I had never had that before. I got one from Jeremiah. That was phenomenal. And I've been telling everybody about ruins readings, and people, I think I'm drinking on the job or what, when I'm talking, what are ruins? And so, I've been explaining to people what that is, but you both do incredible work as well. I think when you see authenticity recognizes authenticity.
Right,
so thank you so much.
I
all are
appreciate,
fabulous as well.
I appreciate those words coming from you. That means a lot. So.
That means like a lot, Jamie. Thank you.
But thank you so much. Yes, I do phone readings. Yes, in person. I do readings out of my home office. I do phone readings, and people can call or just go to my website. You can actually book a reading right there from my website. Oh, nice. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Nice. Cool. Very all right,
cool.
My dear. Well, I think that about does it for our end of things. And we want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and chatting with us. This was a fun conversation.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks a lot. Best of
Absolutely.
to both of you. Many blessings.
Yes, you too, my dear. You too. Well, we will meet again, Jamie. It's inevitable.
Yep, we will.
We will
I'm sure
meet again.
We will.
All right, my
Thank
dear. Well,
you.
you have a wonderful week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, that was an amazing conversation.
Oh my God!
I love her to death.
It's over as soon as it began. Like, oh my God, that was an amazing conversation. She's the real deal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, I've always been skeptical of people who claim that grandma's coming through or whatever, but not with her. You know,
Yeah.
not when you have, maybe that's what I need to actually see Bigfoot, then I'll believe in him because, I am very skeptical about Bigfoot or whatever. And, but yeah, with mediumship, I've always been a little iffy, but when she gave me my reading, it was too specific.
Yeah.
It was too specific.
Well, I mean, okay, so just that circumstance alone,
Yeah.
That particular circumstance, and that she picked up on that person in spirit giving a message to you for that person in life.
That was the family member. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I mean, honestly, I had a hard time wrapping my head around that. I mean, I knew Jamie was good, but that
was a whole different caliber.
That was a whole different ball game. I mean, that was so.
I'll never forget.
I mean, that makes the third person that I've had an experience like that with, or even what's the word I'm looking for? So I experienced that one vicariously through you.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't a direct experience for me, but still, I mean, just the circumstances, it was an experience for me, so.
Are you talking about like that's the third person that has had that much of an impact?
The third medium that I've come across that I really can't question that.
Yeah.
I can't, there's, where do you even start to question that specific of a,
I mean, there was nothing that was incorrect.
Right.
I mean, and when I say nothing incorrect, like literally, like the physical description, the time frame, and it was a very narrow time frame. I mean, when you say 2 to 3 years, that's not very long.
Right.
That's not a very, when somebody says, 10 to 20 years or whatever, but 2 to 3 years, that's real specific. And specifically the condition of which the person passed away.
Right.
And the name.
The name, that's what.
And the
because
nickname.
she got both names.
She got the name and the nickname.
Yes.
I'm serious, people. If you need a reading, you need to connect to somebody on the other side. Look Jamie up because she is the real deal, and I'd put our name, our business behind her.
Even most of the people watching that have known me for any more than
it's gonna take
5
a
or
lot
6,
for
7
you.
years. I'm very, very skeptical of psychics.
Mediums.
I always have been, especially mediums.
But she, and I probably will continue to be skeptical of mediums, but not her.
Right. I always knew that they existed, but it just, I'm sorry, okay, you want to, tell me my, great-great-great-grandpa has a message for me. Well, everyone's got a great-great-great-grandpa,
Right, that's dead.
But you want to tell me that my grandpa, who was a World War vet, who had injuries to his shoulder,
like
he just wants you to know that he's with you. And,
specific
hold on to that
details.
green book.
It's all about the details.
That was the message that I got from another person that, and okay, well, now I'm listening. You have my attention now.
I'm captivated.
So, yeah, it just...
like, Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo. Esty said, there's so many scammers, it's kind of hard to weed out the honest ones. Like Miss Cleo. Yeah. Right?
So,
anyways.
But,
by the way, I forgot to tell you. So when we were talking about spirit guides and stuff like that, so you're going to laugh. So when we were in Lawrence Saturday at the Village Witch, you had walked outside to take Sophie outside of the shop. And all of a sudden, Lena's sitting at her reading table. Linda and I, walked in the door or something. And all of a sudden, Lena goes, who brought the black cat with them? Who brought the black cat? A black cat just ran out the door. Swear to God, ask Lena. She's not on here, but if she was, she would confirm this. And I looked and I said, well, is it a live cat or a dead cat? And it's like only in a witchy shop or metaphysical, you'd have to question if it was alive or a dead, if it was in spirit cat or if it was a living cat that ran out. She's like, no, not one a physical cat. Like there was a black cat that just ran out. And I just was like, and Linda was like, another female that was with me talking to me. She was like, well, I used to have a cat, And I'm like, Lena, I'm pretty sure it was Jeremiah's cat. Jeremiah's kitty cat. And it was just funny because she was like, okay, who brought the cat?
That's funny.
It was great. It was great. That was such a great conversation. And I am so thankful that she wanted to talk with us. I know she, her time is very valuable. And it really, really is an honor that she felt compelled to come on and chat with us for a while.
That's awesome.
So, Jamie, if you are watching, thank you so much. We love you, and we really respect what you do. And we know there's so many people who have gotten help and healing and guidance from your gifts, and that's just incredible that you can use them and put them to work in that way.
Tiffany's she's a medium and a proud medium.
Well, she should be.
That's awesome. You should be proud of. You should be proud of your gifts.
Tiffany's watching. Hi, Tiffany.
So, what?
I said I just noticed Tiffany's watching. Hi, Tiffany.
Yeah, she popped on a little bit ago. She apologized for being late.
Gotcha.
You're too polite sometimes, Tiffany. But we love you.
Yes, we do love you. We do love you. Let's see here. What else? Oh, so let's real quick plug for next week. Okay.
You're going to have to remind me.
That's fine. Pamela and her husband, Courtney.
Oh, yeah. From the Oak Grove Mercantile.
Yes. Yep. They're a couple and they're incredible, and we just kind of clicked with them. The first time and only time we've been around them, we connected. Yeah. And they have some incredible stuff. Typically,
very witchy.
When I did drink coffee, I would typically have the coffee mug that came from them with the really cool like death moth and skull and one witch and mama on the coffee mug, and so that among candles and witchy tools and all kinds of just incredible things. And I shared they came out with a new line of candles that I wish I could just go raid their stuff.
I know, right? Yeah, they have a lot of really cool stuff.
Incredible stuff. And so anyway, so they're going to be on next week with us next Monday. So we're very much excited about that conversation, and I know that you guys, tune in. It'll be a lot of fun. They're really just their energy mixed with our energy is just really cool. Yeah. And so there's just
should be a lot of fun.
A soul family thing.
We'll get that announcement put out in a few days, and. And once again, I'm going to remind you to, whatever platform you're watching on, hit like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever, the video and the page, the channel, whatever. And especially on YouTube, because I want to get to that custom URL so that I don't have 50 bajillion numbers and letters to put in every time I'm trying to post a link.
Right.
So yes, on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll get notified anytime we go live. Because sometimes we do go live on one platform and not the other. Not very often. Most of the time we go live on all three at the same time, but. It also depends on what devices we're using. So,
Right. Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Can you?
I'm good.
We're working on plans for the. Oh, there are a few other things. We're working on the plans for the next Darkness Tavern. We're like we said at the beginning of the show, we're going to plan on doing that about once a month. That was too much fun to not have a repeat soon.
Oh yeah.
Then we will get the live investigation rescheduled, and yes, Carl, you will be invited.
The good captain. Gotta have the captain, man. Gotta have the captain. The captain and the missus if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Both
and
Carly and Cindy.
The new slogan contest, that post is pinned to the top of our Facebook page. Don't forget about that. Post up your entry. We've got good entries. And what else?
Oh, so Charles said, can't find us on YouTube. That's why, Charles, you got to get you and every single person you know to like the YouTube page.
I will.
Because it's literally like gibberish trying to, I don't even know how to get to it either.
Keep an eye on yeah. Give me a little while after we go off air, and then check back on this video description on Facebook. I will post the link to the YouTube channel there, because it's every time when people try to search for Darkness Live on YouTube, they get a screen full of
I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
Concert videos from the band The Darkness.
The Darkness, their one-hit wonder, I think.
So
haven't heard anything from them in a minute.
Yeah.
They believe in a thing so much.
I
believe in a thing called love so much.
I will post the YouTube link in this video description when we go off air. So, yes, thank you, Charles, for looking that up. What else we got?
Hey, we got through Monday.
We did.
Got through Monday.
We did. I'm tired.
Are you?
I am.
I'm not. I'm
I
wired.
didn't sleep worth a shit today.
Yeah, but you did work last night. So, and just quick little update. My lifestyle change that I'm learning from Tay and Lakin is still going really, really well.
Really good.
Really, really good. And I can actually, my scrubs are not as tight as they were. So I guess that means it's working.
Yeah.
So
you've got a lot of clothes that are fitting different.
I know. It's pretty incredible. So that's great news. And I'll just keep you guys posted on how the lifestyle change is going. I won't lie. Man, occasionally I'll be like, God, I want a cup of coffee so bad. But I have stayed strong. I have not had a cup since July 9th.
She's done really good. I'm proud of her.
So. Oh, thank you. He's so sweet. All right. Well, you guys take care, and we will, we'll see you next Monday at 7.
All right. Sounds good. And until we have our new slogan, we'll continue to be cheesy.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
Have a great week, guys. Thank you.
Ben, yes, we need to hang out again. It's been way too long.
Yes.
Ben and Claire.
Yes.
We need to bring them on the round table.
There's a thought.
That would be so much fun.
That would be awesome.
Like every single person on here would be fun to have on the round table. But distance presents a problem. So
yeah, for a lot of them. Yes. But maybe we can work it out sooner or later.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a great week. Stay safe. We love you. Don't be afraid of the dark. We'll see you next time.